We got to know each other in a very interesting way, which was through my Instagram account.
Suddenly I saw your post on Skeleton Bubble by Coram, and I had that watch. So I went on and I read your review about it. And I felt like, wow, I have this watch, so I think I'm happy. And then I saw how you post and what, and that's how I got it to see every day that you were posting beautiful pictures of watches that are in my kind of wish list.
At that point in time, you had just bought that watch.
Yeah, because I was moving from electronic watches to analog, so it was I never wanted to buy a watch that would be like people would see it and say, oh wow, I have that watch. I want to have a watch that people would not know and get confused, and would not have diamond, no gold, nothing, no jewel, like beautiful jewelry or nothing. It should be completely skeleton or naked, or that is my kind of watch. So
look, you have a very unique taste in watches, which I want to get to later. But let's start with the basics first. There's some people who know who you are.
Yeah.
And there are some people who don't know who you are. So
that's perfect.
Tell me what you do.
Thankfully, I cook, and I think I'm cooking for last 22 years. And last 8 years have been the most interesting things in my life. Nobody knew my existence. I was just a small person doing my things. And suddenly, when I opened my restaurant called Gaggan, it became the talk of Asia, and now it's among the top restaurants in the world. And suddenly, I'm recognizable. I was walking from the street yesterday from the hotel and walking out, and 2 people recognized me. I felt good. But good that only 2 was recognized, because after that I can't take it. So it's great that I do food, and I'm having 6 restaurants in Bangkok now. And I don't say that I have an empire, but I think I run successful people around me. So I'm a talent person. I like talent. I love innovation. And that's exactly that connects me to watch world. You know, boys' toys are what? Watches, cars, and somehow I'm not into those extremely boys' toys. So that's why, sorry to say, but it sounds wrong, but I would never have a Rolex or a Patek or those kind of watches. I like for independent guys who spend so much time on creating the watch, how it would look, what is the thing of it, what is the team of it, how does it. And actually the interest started from my first article in a GQ magazine, where I was seeing my own self. I came across HYT. That year, it was 2013, the beginnings of HYT. And 2013, I said, why? How? Oh my God, liquid? What are we talking about? Why watches become liquid? How time can be fluid? You know? Yeah. And then I said, why? And then I saw this, and then I saw how Gregor was in NASA and how so it was interesting. Because for me, other watches were boring. It would just give me a time. But this was not just giving me time. It was giving me everything else apart from the main feature of a watch, which is time. So I thought, like, oh, if I had the money, one day I'll buy that watch. And then they started developing better watches. They had the Skull, then the H4, they had the H4. I said, wow, now they're making light. And what is it? They're like, why is it the light? And the advertisement was like, the campaign was that in Hong Kong, the first H4 campaign, and I said, wow, it lights. Imagine I'm in a club and I show off this watch. Yeah. So it was amazing. And from there, now I own that.
Which model in particular?
I have the H4 Neo Light, limited to 15.
When you first got to know about HYT, till the point when you actually bought and owned the watch, was there a fever that was raging through your brain?
Yes. Otherwise, I could have never bought it.
Describe this feeling.
It's this thing that I have become what I am in my field of work, and how I believe that innovation is leadership, and how I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't want to be the guy who has bank balance, but I want to be a person who wants things that he wants and he can get it. And that is kind of a inspiration and madness. And because of that madness, what has happened is that in 5 years I could buy an HYT. And I'm telling you today that before I die, I will have a watch like an alien machine of MBNF, and I will have there's 6-7 watches that I really think I would have before I die, and one of them is the astronomic of Jacob and Co.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
you like that one?
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, without the diamonds and without the gold, but the blue one. Which
I
is
think you can't avoid the gold. The gold would be.
I hate jewelry on a watch. I mean, that's why I don't wear any ring or gold. I mean, Indians are famous for wearing gold, right? Yeah, yeah. So
And what else aside from these two that you've named?
I think I like the Atlas. Yeah, the Vortex blue. Yeah, these are my watches. I like but my problem is I'm a little crazy guy, so I want to collect only blue watches. So there are themes also, in hidden layers. It has to be blue. It has to be a rubber strap, sporty looking, and no expensive jewelry on it. So that's why I have the HYT. I have the blue, which is blue, greenish blue. I have the Coram, the Atlas, which I want to have the Vortex. Then I want to own the Kabistan blue. I like that one. It's super interesting. Kabistan. Then I want to buy is the Astronomy from Jacob and Co. And then I think the Aquapod, blue to green, anything in that sea color.
So
Yeah.
okay, what are the characteristics that get you about the watch? Is it the way that it looks? Is it the concept behind it?
The concept, why was it made? Because every watch is the fantasy of the watchmaker. I mean, look at Max Mercer. I mean, MBNFs are all his childhood fantasies. And I create my food like a fantasy. I mean, so fantasy comes into the role play as a common background because you connect with your life with the watchmaker's life. So fantasy, if the fantasy is not exactly like my fantasy, the crazy things, I would never buy it. And it doesn't come with the price. The price is the hardest part. Yeah. I wish I could buy a $10,000 watch. Coram is a perfect example. It's not an expensive watch. It's a great watch and it's not expensive, and still it's in my collection. So last year I had a problem. People around me were buying APs and Pateks and Rolexes, and my partners, my friends, and I was trying to get myself convinced that should I have a daily watch like that? Should I wear a daily watch which everybody wears? And then I went to the showrooms, I tried the watches, and I was feeling so uncomfortable. I was feeling uncomfortable, and that's when I went back to what I think I should buy. And that's why I'm trying my best to buy an MBNF. So
You started your restaurant Gaggan 2010. What was different that made it succeed?
it was about to change the face of 1.3 billion people's daily food. You've eaten Indian food all your life. You've seen a curry, you've seen all the things, and how it has influenced Southeast Asia. And yet, when I go back home, I would never feel proud that compared to a French or other cuisine or Japanese, why does my food look ugly, or it doesn't? It tastes so good, but looks ugly. It doesn't present in a way. It could have better rights in life. And that was my aspiration to do Gaggan. And from there onwards, from $500, I'm sitting with you. So
Has it been a difficult journey or was it easy right from the start?
I think it's difficult today. Every day is a challenge. If there's no challenge, there's no aspiration, and then life becomes boring. So yes, I mean, it is based on determination, and I would not say passion is ordinary word. I would say madness. The madness to achieve the impossible, because I think I'm not representing India because I'm Indian living in Bangkok and talking to you in Singapore. I'm representing this movement in Asia that we are the next new world. I think Asia is incredible, Asia has talent, has the motivation, and has been suddenly from poor, famine-oriented centuries of barbaric rule, suddenly become the new buyer. We have the money, we have the class, we have the travel experience and know-how, and now we are the new consumer. And these things are exactly what it is. The Asia, and I think the best restaurant in the world could be in Asia. It doesn't have to be in America or not in London or not in Paris. The best restaurant in the world could be in Asia. I represent Asia and I motivate Asia to do better in life.
It seems that the watches you like have a bit of madness in them as well.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you create an alien machine and spend so much time in the R&D of 6 pieces, 4 pieces, or 15 pieces, or 20 pieces? And then, and that's the thing. I mean, money is innovation. I'm sorry, I'm wearing an Apple Watch, but it's the cheapest watch you can buy and do it. But I think this watch is based on innovation. That's why I bought this. It helps my daily life. When I travel, I'm going to 4 countries in next 1 week. So all my time zones are there. Everything is there, and it automatically sets up. And my schedules are there. Everything is there. So in a way, yes, it is comfortable. But then this is innovation. This is innovation. Right. That was amazing innovation. So innovation is incredible. And I get fascinated with innovation. So I would never buy something that is luxury. I don't think luxury can be bought by money. Let's go to 1 floor down from here and ask for a watch, and you have to pay your gut out for that watch, and still you won't get the watch for 2 years. Why will I go for that watch? What is luxury then? Then I'm a bloody beggar. Even if I have money, I'm a beggar. What is luxury? You go to a French band, let's go to a French bag store, and your wife and you are waiting in the queue to spend $7,000. In a queue and treated like shit. Like running for that, I want that bag, and $7,000. Luxury has become a disaster. It's such a, I mean, why did you create luxury? Luxury was created so that people who had the money to buy it, who worked their heart out to make that money, could get comfort. And comfort is gone. Today we are beggars as a luxury person. We are beggars. We are begging for that car. We're begging for that watch. We're begging for everything that you want to buy. You have the money, but you're still begging. Yeah. So I think that is the biggest problem in luxury. And I think luxury cannot be bought with money. And that's why I go for these kind of watches where I wait, but it's worth the wait.
When I went to your restaurant, I knew nothing about you. We just sort of messaged each other and just said, turn up. I found myself being taken on a journey through the presentation, the menu, the food, even the way that the waiters communicated about,
and surprise you. It's all about the game. It's about seduction. It's about today, our world is because of this. Everything is here. I know you through here. You know people out here, communication, business, commerce, watches, cars, everything is here. You can do anything you want. You can book a flight to Paris. You can do anything you want. Thankfully, it doesn't cook. I mean, imagine I'm jobless because of this. So when people came to my restaurant, they would book the restaurant on a Valentine's Day, booked it 6-7 months in advance, and bought the girl to surprise her that you came at Gaggan for the surprise of the Valentine's. And she feels amazing. They enter, take photos. But the moment they sit on the table, they go to this world for 3 hours. For 3 hours on this world. No holding hands, no eating the same dish, not putting anything in her mouth or his mouth, no playing with the legs under the table. So where the fuck is romance? Where did it go? And then I realized that if I create some menus, I create my food in such a rapid fire, random, like a roller coaster ride, where you can't think, you're always on the adrenaline, and use your phone, get the emojis as a menu, and you make it interactive. You use their disadvantage into your advantage. And that's why my menu became so interesting that for 4 minutes of that dish, you can't think anything else. Either you think to criticize it, because love and hate always exist, or you love it. And then you go to the next one. And then don't you remember? And the next one has a completely different texture, temperature, taste, and a different journey. And that I believe is provocative and surprise. And surprise is the biggest factor in life. Surprise, everybody loves surprises. If that luxury bag or that luxurious watch, you don't take your wife and stand in the queue, but you give her as a gift, that's just worth more. So I believe in that surprise. Surprise is incredible. It's seduction. Life is seductive. We get into that part and we just, these watches are seductive. Otherwise, you'll never buy them. You will never buy them. But once you go to the seduction, then it becomes a madness. Then it becomes like, okay, I have to save.
Do you happen to wear a watch while you cook?
Yes. Always the one which, and I don't care about the money or the price or whatever. I hate something, I don't care. I wear a HYT when I cook. You can see photos. I mean, yeah, and especially when I go to awards and things where I might be photographed, I don't wear those expensive watches.
Oh, why?
It's the weird shyness in my life. Yeah, and everybody wants to wear the watches on those nights. I don't want to wear the watches on those nights. Watch is a daily affair.
So the watch is for you, basically.
Yeah,
you buy it for yourself.
Of course, not for the people. That's just I want to buy these watches and die, and my daughter will not able to use it. She hates me now. Yeah, many people. I mean, most people buy watches to give it to their family, but this is the most stupidest thing. Most of the people down generation will say, "Why did my father give me this shit?" So I found that relationship. I said, "No, man." I'll give you a funny last story. Okay, it's something amazing. So my background comes from nothing, $500, nothing. Last summer, I was in India with my mom and in a fancy hotel like this, and they had a store, a Swiss watch store. To that Swiss watch store, I went. I said, "Let me give my mom. She loves gold, old school Indian." I said, "Let me give you a diamond gold like Rolex." I took her to Rolex. I entered there. And I chose a watch. I came back because I wanted to see her wrist size. She's very weak. Then she saw the price tag. I said, "Mom, it's okay. It's not a problem. But it will just tell me time. And I don't want to spend so much money on time." I said, "Mom, we are rich now. We're not poor anymore." She said, "No, but I don't want that. Better buy me a bigger diamond." So I couldn't convince my mom. So how can I convince myself?
Oh, perfect.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
Nice speaking to you. That's one of the best interviews of my life.